Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. This is Sergeant's Time. I'm flying solo tonight. I think he's got some things to do, so rather than just have her show up and be late or something like that, and she's got errands to do. Hey, girl, handle your business. So that way she can provide you, of course, quality podcast time when she goes back next week. But she'll be in the chat soon in a minute, so yeah. Expert soldier badge. That's right, Josiah. I think we need a CB in the house. Oh, hey, what's up, Wes? We got the CBs. We got the CBs in the house. That's the Navy's version of a combat engineers, or I guess the Red Horse from the Air Force. So there you go. Naval Construction Battalion, CB. See, get it? In Construction Battalion, CB. Anyways, glad y'all could join us. Glad y'all can hang out tonight deep within the basement of the Pentagon. Maybe somewhere in Cheyenne Mountain. I don't know. Maybe somewhere out there in Area 51. Or maybe hanging out in the Alamo. I do like me some Alamo. It's not a bad spot. You just need to keep going back and forth to San Antonio a lot because I have friends und familia there. But yeah, I'm glad you guys can join us and hang out. I don't want to say I'm going to go on a rant tonight. I don't want to say I want to go on to, screaming in the mic and saying, start wearing my tinfoil and Alex Jonesing and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that, but I do want to talk about some things that have come up recently in what's up, Gary? What's up? In Mill Media and Mill News. But real quick, we got a guest tonight. Actually, we have 3 guests tonight, and they'll be joining us tonight. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm excited because these individuals here. Let me just show you here. These adorable faces right here. These individuals here did something and engineered some stuff for veterans. So I'm looking forward to hearing about this. I'm all in the tech. I love the tech. So any of the tech stuff or any of the innovation stuff, you guys are just gonna have to just like freaking, I don't know, sit on the side and watch us talk and shoot the shit. So they'll be joining us at 9:00. So we do have guests. Yes, 3. So I'm excited. Anyways, Mill Media. Over the course of the last couple of weeks, we've had some reporters that we have worked with, we as in U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. They have been laid off from their jobs. Now, some have been able to find some freestyling. Did we get zucked? What are you talking about? We got zucked? What are you talking about? We're still here, man. What are you talking about, zucked? When did we get zucked? Wait. What y'all talking about? Did we get zucked? No, what? Why y'all throwing me all these news? Why you guys throwing me the news, man? What's going on? I don't see. Hang on. Don't say that stuff. Did you guys get zucked? Y'all making it sound like we're, according to the, yeah, exactly. According to everything. I don't know why you're I don't know, David, did you guys get zucked? Are you talking about why we got zucked on Monday? Is that what it is? Was it Monday or Tuesday or something like that? I'll get to that in a minute. So what? Anyways, going back to what I was saying, we have friends that I mean, some of I consider a friend too. Friends that work in Mill Media that were laid off from their positions, laid off from their stories, and laid off from the beats, and so they had worked at the military Times, Army Times, Defense Times, Marine Corps Times, Air Force Times. Name your Times in that Times conglomerate group. Were removed. We were laid off. I mean, I don't want to get in the minutiae stuff like that and go back and forth to why and the why it's whatever. But some reporters that we indirectly worked with, were not in those positions anymore. There are also some reporters that were, again, some of them are freestyling now, or I guess you say freelancing, and running around like Mandalorians with their contracts to get some stories out and all that. That left us with a void. And the reason why I say it left us with a void is because a lot of the stories, and it's not uncommon, it's not a secret, is that ever since Jose retired, we don't have a reporter. We don't have anybody on the ground giving us all the giving us all the ground details and stuff like that like we used to. So when Jose retired, then we had a kind of like an agreement or something like that. I don't want to say agreement because that's not. I don't want to say it like that. How do I say that? It was kind of like a gentlewoman's handshake. They're kind of like, hey, since we're not doing the stories anymore, and since we're not doing stories that of this larger caliber like Jose used to do, if there's anything you guys need help with, we can facilitate and assist in some of your stories. And so we've done that, and we've done that with other ones. Yeah, there you go, Patrick. Under an official partnership. Yeah, okay, I guess you should say that. A collaborative effort. How about that? And basically what it is that we would help them out and they would help us out in some stuff, and we would cross notes and give, or, exchange notes, exchange sources, exchange information with each other, and then they would write a story. And then that story would end up, you'd be seeing it on the U.S. Army WTF Moments and the WTF Nation Radio timeline on the Facebook pages. So naturally, that was kind of like a good deal. I mean, it was kind of good because it allowed the page to post some stuff that were, I don't know, you would say the fuckery that everyone talks about. You were able to see that, and you're also able to see some of the other highlights in the good notes. We got asked, hey, how come you guys are now posting like feel good shit? Where's the fuckery? Where is this? How is this an Army WTF moment? How are you guys have you guys changed or something like that? I would say we've evolved. And the reason why I say we have evolved because now we're highlighting leaders. We have what we call the close of business shout outs, which is every day before you go home, at 1700, if you go home in some units, that if you do go home and right before you go home, you're going to see a shout out from a soldier acknowledging their leader or a leader acknowledging one of their soldiers. And that's always going to be posted at 1700 Eastern Standard Time. And somebody asked, hey, that's not a WTF moment. And then another person commented that it's showing leaders what you should be doing so you don't become a WTF moment. I kind of like that. And of course, we have our re-enlistment posts that we have. A lot of it as well as we get spammed in our inbox. We do get spammed on our inbox big time. And in our inbox, we have nefarious characters, foreign individuals, I would say, from adversary countries. I would say China and Russia that like to go in our inbox. And on Monday, and Tuesday, I say Monday or Tuesday, our Facebook page was restricted. I'll say it. Our Facebook page was restricted because we would engage with a troll that was and this is what they're doing now to some accounts, to some big accounts and some military accounts. And that's why if you notice some military pages don't post for a while and then they do post again, is because what these adversarial trolls, what they do is they go inside your inbox and engage you and offer you to do something, and you say, no, we're good. Thank you, appreciate it, not interested, blah, 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 blah. And then they start immediately saying, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get your family. We're going to target you, blah, blah. And then, of course, you know, us being the ad, whatever, dude. Sure, bitch. And start engaging back and forth. Well, then immediately that triggers Meta's AI for bullying because they will report us. They will report a post and say that's mass reporting. So our Instagram wasn't, Instagram wasn't locked down at all. We were engaging all the fans on the Instagram. But on the Facebook account, we couldn't respond. It was like we were watching you. We see you in there. We see you commenting. We see you making your comments. We can't get to you. So it was a 24-hour restriction that the entire page. Everything was locked. And you guys couldn't see it from the outside, but the page was locked. The page was basically, you're restricted. You can't post it. You can't stream shit. You can't say shit. You can't do anything. You can't even comment because depending on the level of restrictions that you get. And that's what we were hit. We were attacked in the chats, in the inbox, because individuals didn't like us wanting to send Bob's and Vagine, and so we just kind of like funny. So again, it had nothing to do with what happened on Monday when our stream account got restricted because we posted some words that were in there. You were trying to post, yeah, exactly. So yeah, we didn't get zucked. We just got restricted. Now the page has been getting, and I'm going to open up a little bit of open up the. Hang on, let me open up the secret box. Hang on, let me see. Ooh, let's open up the box of America, and in this box we have the secrets in here. So, anyways, the page gets restricted a lot. It does. The page got restricted a lot, and basically what it is that there will be some individuals that will mass attack or mass report the page, and then say we're bullying, and then we'll say, hey, we're bullying. You guys are bullying. We're not fucking bullying. Because you have somebody from China, you have somebody from Russia, you have somebody from Pakistan. They're trying to attack the page, and they're trying to grab information from the soldiers. We also get it from the fans, from you guys in the inbox. Hey, if you look at this post, it's throwing some bad links. So we do appreciate the fans highlighting it to us and all that. But going back to what I was saying, it was, I guess you would say, it was the collaborative efforts between us and Mill Media. Like I said, the Army Times, Task and Purpose, and all that. Well, a lot of reporters got laid off recently, so now we're like kind of like looking. Okay, do we hire another Jose? Do we hire another Jose? Someone like Ish or Jose, or do we go back and do the stories like it used to be back in the day, where it would just be a post of what was going on and here's what's happening. You guys notice there's another page called Fancy Bear that it covers exclusively the 82nd. I kind of like take that as a homage. There's some other ones too, U.S. Army memes. There's some other Platoon Daddy memes and all that. They're like, I kind of take it like that's how we started as WTF Moments, and it grew. And the reason why some of the posts that you don't see that, hey, how come you guys don't post like that, is because the larger your page and reach grows, then the chance for you to get your the chance that you get to those fuck those fancy bears. The larger your reach, then your page gets held to a higher scrutiny. So I watch the page, I watch their pages. I'm like, oh, like this is some funny ass shit. This is what we used to post. This is what we used to do. This is pretty fucking cool. And so again, with the vacuum of Mill Media, there's stories that are now piling up. There were stories that are now piling up that we have had in the inbox that were originally worked with Mill Media at, when I say Mill Media, like specifically the Army Times and those guys. The Mill Media crew were very, helpful. I mean, they were the ones that I kind of like, I was kind of gutted, not because we lost the resource, but I was gutted because I know these guys and gals, and they worked their asses off to get these stories out for the troops. And it disheartens me that we don't know, like, what's the gap? Like, now, who's filling the gap? Who's going to be that Mill Media gap now with the reporters that we've worked with, aside from having Army Times, Military Times? I mean, we have Steve Bannon at military.com. We have Haley Britsky at CNN. She started off at Task and Purpose. Like those names that you see posted on the main page, those are the stories that, again, somewhere along the line, not all of them, but somewhere along the line, some of that information is provided by you, the followers of the WTF Nation. So it's frustrating for me. It really is, because now I don't know what to send my stories. Now I don't know. Okay, so now I'm just going to go off on some notes and go on a podcast and talk about how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories that are out there when it comes to toxic leadership. There's stories that are out there of inappropriate behavior of leaders. There's stories out there of leaders getting arrested and then nothing happening to them, even though they got a DUI. And that's it. Soldiers know they got a DUI, so everybody knows, but then that's it. Nobody knows what happens to it. At least when we had the Mill Media crew out there, we were able to get some closure, some understanding that, yep, and the audience could see that as well, that we were holding the organization was being held to the standard that, of course, that we raise our right hands to. Did they waterboard some of my crew over the weekend? How do you know about that post that's coming up? There's a post coming up, by the way, about that. Yeah, you're going to see it. Well, would have given it to Mill Media, but there's a post coming up where some soldiers got busted for waterboarding some augmentees. So keep an eye on that. That'll be a funny story to see that posted. But going back to what I was saying, there's got to be something for the Mill Media people to be able to again, like I said, I'm disheartened because it's not waterboarding if you use gasoline or diesel. It's kind of like we have a gap now. Now we got a gap. Now I will say I see it from my eyes, from at least from the wave top. It looks like we have a gap. It looks like we have no other place to go to. And now we're going to be like, okay, WTF Moments is probably going to go back to the way it used to be, just reporting the details and stuff like that. Yeah, hazing has returned. I don't like that. I'm not a reporter. I guess you would say I'm a podcasting media. Somebody called me a podcast media journalist or something like that, or not bad for an amateur broadcaster. A friend of mine, a PAO SGM, that said not bad. You got it. So I get frustrated. The audience is going to get frustrated because then the audience will say, "Hey, did you see this story that came out?" Yes, we did. How about Mug? You've been called grumpy. I heard that. How about Mug? What about McGregor, Mike? Are you saying we're muckrakers? Are you saying we're hacks? Scuttlebutt Bandito? Oh yeah, please keep them coming. Are we muckrakers? I don't know. Seem to have had pretty good relationships with the individuals that were asking for some of the stories or asking for that from information. So, are we the muck rating? Yeah, I'm not Fox or CNN. Yeah, no, I don't got that much money, man. If I had Fox and CNN money, I'd hire all those Mill Media reporters and all that, and that'd be it. We'd have like a Mill Media state channel. So I can just imagine seeing somebody like, my friend Mike Levine being on there. I put you on the camera, Mike. I put you on the camera. And put you back there and start talking about whatever happened in the 1st Armored Division or whatever happens at JRTC or NTC. But yeah, dude, that's kind of like where I'm at. You're about to call in? Oh shit. Okay, hang on. Let me set up. Hang on. Are you just joking, Breaking Balls? You're going to call in, or you're just not going to call in? Because if you're going to call in, you can call in. I'll take your call. I take your call. Okay, you're set. Everything's set. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Testicle, 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on?
What's up, man?
Great discussion here. I was just talking to one of the former members of the military media, the military media industrial complex that is rapidly being like disassembled in front of our very eyes.
Right.
And yeah, I got to tell you, this is a sure sign of, or see it sold off to someone else who does something, even worse with it.
And that's what
It's really sad.
it is sad because I was just telling, like I was telling the audience, I don't know if you heard me opening up about it, that it's sad because now a lot of the stuff that WTF Moments used to just kind of like, hey, assist those mill media people with, those journalists. Like I said, there's some hard ass and some hardworking freaking journalists out there, man.
Absolutely.
And so when they go and they get to it, they get on a story, they get in a lead. I mean, I kind of liked the evolution that WTF Moments and kind of like that somebody said a collaborative partnership with Mill Media kind of like got that. I don't want to say legitimacy, but it kind of at least got, hey, these are the information where we got it from, and we were able to facilitate that. And then once you saw it posted on the main page on the timeline, then you go, oh, okay, well, yeah, all right, I remember somebody talking about that or something like that.
Yeah, well, as you know, I am a longtime observer of WTF Moments, adversary, frenemy, however you want to put it. Just on the other side of the fence, student army public affairs. But there was a period of time, I would say, in the mid-teens, 14, 15, 16 timeframe, where you did not go a week in Army Times or military.com, and then when they came along, Task and Purpose, where the opening, the second graph of a story, you'd have the reporter would write the lead, and then the second graph was, according to the U.S. Army WTF Moments Facebook page.
Right.
Right. And so like I think to the extent WTF Moments was a feeder, absolutely. But that's the time-honored tradition of print media, which is, watch somebody else scoop you.
Yeah.
and then write a story about their story. I mean, well, it is what it is.
And we really didn't take it. And that's the thing I loved about work being in WTF Moments is we don't take that. We don't care. Like if somebody wants to scoop it, take it. Here, we'll give it to you. We'll scoop it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff.
But I gotta say, the fact that you guys were dropping the kind of gems you were dropping in, again, in the mid-teens, when things started to get really interesting in the social media world, like I personally believe, and you'd probably get Steve on or Davis Winky or any of those guys come on the show, they'd probably say yes. But like you became not just a feeder, but like the pro tip for all these guys, that if you want to be half a step ahead of your competition, you need to live in those spaces. You need to be all over WTF Moments.
Correct.
You have to be in Mill Twitter. You have to be, and I think it's a tie between Davis Winky and Steve Bainan, who had ownership over the Army subreddit, right? Or who is the bigger presence in the Army subreddit? But like these guys both have broken serious news by being omnipresent and extremely online.
Right now,
and they catch a lot of shit. They catch a lot of shit for it too. But
exactly.
But they're also hanging awards on their wall because of the things that they're able to pick up in these online communities. And so, hey, WTF Moments, like them, lump them, hate them, whatever. It's definitely has set the bar and established something for pretty much everyone else to chase after and follow.
Well, I mean, look at Task and Purpose too. When Haley Brisky first started off, now she's at CNN, and now she's picking up the defense beat, but she was on the beat too. And then we have Patty Nyberg at Task and Purpose. Now we got Jeff Schogel. We had the EIC James Clark at the Times Group, and now he's not working there anymore. And I'm thinking, where I don't want to say where does a fellow octopus extend another fellow octopus's tendrils to keep extending other tendrils? It's like Hydra, it's like, where do we keep moving our leads? Where do we keep pushing our leads? Because I'll be honest with you, at the rate that the stories are now coming in, they're starting to stack up, and some soldiers have had they have had a voice because, like you said, we fed that information. We didn't, like I said, Jose's retired, so the days of Jose, posting this stuff anymore, it's long gone. So now it's like, who do we? Where's that gap? What chasm am I jumping over now to get a story out, because there's some relationships building that you even mentioned before. I mean, this is offline when you've talked about the relationships that we built behind the scenes. And I don't want to.
Oh, dude!
I don't want to burn that.
Listen,
I don't want to burn those.
I know I've been in this space and told this story before, but depending on how many listeners you have right now, I might as well like just scratch this scab again. And that is that like, you remember there was a time when nobody took WTF moments seriously until their brigade or their battalion was in a post, and then everybody took it terribly seriously.
Right.
And it became like a distraction to the point where you had people down in the company troop battery trying to figure out who fed that to WTF moments.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so worried about smoking out an informant or whatever, and not worried about, oh, maybe we should just stop being assholes, or maybe we should just like fix this problem instead of trying to smack the guy who sent the stuff in. So then public affairs guys, especially as they in the mid 2000s and then into the dawn of social media, they started being at the brigade level. You had commanders and CSMs turning to those dudes like, hey, fix this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how's a brigade PAO going to fix a brigade DFAC, a picture of the front door of a brigade DFAC with a D or an F grade because they failed their inspection? How is the brigade PAO going to fix that? Well, the first thing they could do is like message the page and say, hey, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you hook a brother up over here? And so like when I was at First ID I was there 2013, 2016,
mm-hmm.
and right around the 2015 time frame, again, telling this story once again for posterity, we had that big drug bust. We had like, and I'm going to mess the number up, but it was like 16 or 18 soldiers that were rounded up in a drug bust in near Junction City, Kansas, right outside the gate.
Yep.
And basically all these kids got rolled up because there was a noise complaint in an apartment. The cop went and knocked on the door opened. The guy he smelled marijuana. He saw a burning joint, and all of the soldiers were African American. And a couple of them were kind of acting a fool a little bit, and like they put their hands up, said, "Don't shoot, I can't breathe." They were kind of taunting the cop a little bit, and so he said, "Okay, fuck around and find out. I'm arresting everybody."
Mm-hmm.
So they arrested the whole group.
I remember.
Well, the town, and it's not Junction City. It's got a weird name. It'll come to me in a minute. But they published the mugshot of all these soldiers.
Yep.
And then WTF Moments put all of these mugshots together in like a montage. And I mean, I can't prove this to this day, right? But I thought y'all O.J. Simpson did and darkened the faces a little bit.
Oh, stop!
And of course, that got all the reactions.
That conspiracy theory.
All the reactions that one would expect, right? The engagement was through the roof, but it was just like ridiculous. And the One ID guys were like, "Oh my God, like what the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
And I messaged the page. I was like, "Hey, this is Dirty Pool. What are y'all doing?" Somebody messaged me back like, "Hey, ha ha ha," And what it really came down to is the back and forth was like, "Hey, like before you publish some stuff like that, like why don't you reach out and ask us?"
Mm-hmm.
Like some of this stuff we can actually give you a comment.
Mm-hmm.
And the page said to me, "Hey, everybody we've talked to, they never give us an official comment." I said, "Well,
Correct.
You've never talked to me before." So I was like, message me and send me a freaking legitimate media query.
Yeah.
And I will get you either a comment on background or a comment on the record. Well, sure enough, I get an email from James and we move forward. We move forward from there.
Yeah.
And I get a comment, and then all of a sudden, before something stupid from a brigade on Fort Riley popped on the page, I would get a media query asking for comment. And lo and behold, what happens after a couple of months? It's like in the time I played the game. I'm a public affairs guy.
Right.
So I'm like, "Hey, give me 2 hours or give me 3 hours." And you're like, "Okay." And in that 3 hours, I call a brigade CSM and get it unfucked and then we're, by the time you get a response, it's already fixed. But at the end of the day, you still have content, right? You're still going to make the post. You have a comment on the record from somebody in the Army, and I have a problem that was taken care of before it hit the the famous WTF moment.
Well, that's
so at that point, everybody was kind of happy.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But Mike, right? I'm telling you right now that they're and it's funny to see the evolution of our fans too and the followers. There are fans that are pissed off that said, "Hey, we sent you some information, and you sent it to my brigade CSM, and my pay is good." I go, "There you go, appreciate it." Well, why didn't you guys post about it? You just said your pay is good. You just said it was fixed.
Exactly.
So why do we need to fucking post something? You know what I mean? Why does it need to be posted?
Do you want the splash? Do you want the splash effect, or do you want the problem fixed?
Yeah.
Because you know what, you can't have both, because if you get the splash before anyone gets after the problem, then that's gonna lengthen the timeline that it's gonna take you to get this squared away. Because first of all, everybody's gonna be up your ass with a microscope wanting to know why you're sending stuff into quote unquote adversarial social media pages.
Well, I mean,
that's going to become the focus instead of your no pay due.
Right.
It's like, come on, dude.
Exactly.
Use your head.
Exactly. Well, not to mention the fact once you figured out, and once I told you, once we established the connect, and that was behind the scenes. I think it made it a little bit easier too, because you were a big mentor in that. I will say that right now.
And what's funny too is so then Fort Riley starts to slowly melt off of the page,
mm-hmm.
and it returns correctly back to Fort Bragg in those days.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's because you're like, Ken, is that you?
Plenty of fuckery going on at the center of the universe. It doesn't have to be out there in central Kansas. And so other people are like, hey, how did you do this? And I was like, it's real easy. Just message the page. Oh, we do that all the time. Well, do you ever give these guys comments on the record? No. So then we built a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a private group that, you had to be a public affairs NCO. We didn't let any officers in at first.
Yep.
You had to be a public affairs NCO, and there was at least 2 admins that were in that group. And it was like, hey, this is the spot to deconflict. If you have some kind of craziness going on that's in your inbox, let us know. And hey, if you want to post about it, post about it. If it's not too insane, we'll even comment on it, right? We'll give you a comment. But the key factor is let's stem the bleeding before the rest of the Army knows the wound happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, I just feel like there was a period of time, probably like 16 to 19 or even into 2020, like where that shit was just hopping and popping, right? That was smooth sailing. But that was more, dude, Army,
that was better than that was better than the IO working group, man. I'm going to tell you what, because you and I have served together before, in real life anyway. So it was freaking, it was cohesiveness. It was like, hey, we got this stuff going on, blah, blah, blah. It's checked up, blah, 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 okay. And like you said, is it going to go up or is it not going to go up? And then I would see the interaction. Give me 48 hours. Or give me 2 hours. Like you said, give me 2 hours to see if this is going to get. Well, now.
Yeah, give me a shot. Give me a shot at fixing it before we go on blast.
Right.
And we just discovered how absolutely easy that was, that, hey, you know what? We can give this to the Army and let the Army take care of the soldier, or let the unit fix maybe the jacked up leader. Because hell, there's been some on WTF moments that led to, brigade and battalion commanders and command sergeants major getting put in timeout while people looked at what was going on. Definitely company commanders and first sergeants getting put in timeout.
Yep.
And so I just feel like it was a force for good. It just wasn't pretty. And it wasn't like in the private sort of, stovepipe way the Army likes to do it. But at the end of the day, shit got fixed, people got taken care of. And on your side, you guys had content. And, if y'all had tried to monetize it at some point, you probably could have done that too. But, at the end of the day, it really just became about, hey, what are we doing to take care of soldiers? During the early days of COVID, it's hey, let's put all of the the jackassery on display. Hey, we have rules and people aren't following rules.
Yep.
Look at this.
Yep.
Or we have rules and people are taking the rules way too seriously. Like, look at this.
Or
I don't know.
Or we published the rules because people weren't getting that information. There were some units that weren't even getting the rules. They were.
Yeah.
We got a lot of shit for posting FOUO-CUI shit on the COVID stuff, but I mean, fuck, dude, nobody was getting the information, and make the call, fuck it, post it. That's it. And then don't get mad. But dude, at this point, I don't know.
And I'll make.
Go ahead.
I'll make one last point and I'll get off your show because you know how I am. I'll monopolize your whole shit. Like the reaction to WTF moments, I think, over that period, call it, 14, 15, all the way into, 20, 21, 22 and into the present. Like you had leaders kind of growing up in that, you had platoon sergeants in the early days that are CSMs now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so they kind of came up with this and have a better understanding of it than some of the dinosaurs back in the early 10s.
Yes.
And I think WTF helped to shape some leaders that have really been out there, like in the space, occupying the information space in a way, because if they don't occupy it, somebody else will, and that somebody else could be an adversary or someone who doesn't have our best interests at heart. Like if you think about like General Abrams, who was just an absolute force of nature on Twitter for a while.
Yeah.
Tell me your unit. Like that's like one of the most famous phrases on Twitter.
And was one of our biggest advocates. I mean, I'm not saying that he reached out personally, but there were some deputies, I guess you would say, or some representatives that would reach out to us and fostered that to the fact to the where like, hey, they're inviting us to places now. I think we need to go ahead and one of us needs to be public. Ken, you're it.
Yeah. And he was kind of more, I think, probably Instagram and Twitter than anything. But if you guys remember Mario Torinas, he retired as the 10th Mountain Division CSM.
Yes.
And when that dude was at 10th Mountain Division, like him and because his PAO was a guy named Dan Shapiro. Like that was his right hand man. Shapiro's a sergeant major now, of course.
Oh wow.
But like when Shapiro had him in front of an iPhone doing shit on Instagram and Instagram Live all over the place. And if there was an issue somewhere on Fort Drum where people were like, oh, look at this is bullshit. Like Torinas would be there and do a live and be like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. That's not true. I'm over here doing this.
That's exactly what he would. We would post some of that stuff. We would be like, hey.
Yeah.
It would hit the inbox and we would say, but that right there mitigated a lot of the drama that you would see not splashed on the page. It would be like, hey, 10th Mountain, blah, 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 blah. Like, nah, that's not what the CSM said. Well, here, let's forward you the fucking video, pass this amongst your buddies or your bros. And then this is, like you said, it was not happening. It's a fucking and
listen, I thought this as a division public affairs NCOIC as a master sergeant. I thought this way as a public affairs sergeant major at TRADOC and the 8th Army at the height of all of this COVID craziness. And for the 5 glorious business days, I was the Octa sergeant major. That's a whole other story. But in that time, man, I'm telling you, I embraced this platform in a way because it helped flatten the chain of command, where if a soldier had an issue, somebody at the very highest levels knew about it, right, almost instantly.
Yeah.
And for all of the bullshit that you used to hear about people between company, battalion, and brigade level saying, "Oh, I didn't get a chance to fix this." Well, where were you? Yeah. And why weren't you in the mix?
Yeah.
If you were on social media, you would have known this shit was happening. But no, you're like, "Oh, I'm a dinosaur. I don't do that."
Well, what do you think about
dinosaur? Guess what happened? Guess what happened to the dinosaurs? They all died off
and became oil.
And so, time for a new species to take over.
Yeah,
so
now think about this.
You should just.
But think about this then. So
hang it up and get the hell out of the way.
So where do we go then? Where do we go if we don't have these mill media reporters that we talk to? Do we just go back to 2015 business again? Do we go back to?
So here's what I think. I think that space is going to be filled eventually,
Okay.
right? In the meantime, you have all of the usual suspects, right? In the day-to-day mill media, you've got military.com, you've got Task and Purpose, you have Stars and Stripes. I think those three outlets are capable as hell and can really cover, and to the extent that it still exists, the Military Times arms, there are still reporters under Military Times, under all of the service times, but there's only like one each for all of them.
Gotcha.
But they're still getting after it. I think that depending on the size of the story, you still have major defense reporters at tier one media. I mean, you just said her name a minute ago. Haley. I think Haley Brisky keeps her finger on the pulse of what's happening in the formation because she lives in the places that soldiers are. She's on Instagram and Twitter and in the subreddit and whatever. But things that pop up that are big enough, Dave Phillips at the New York Times, Helene Cooper at New York Times, Dan Lamothe at the Washington Post. You have people that are interested and that, but are going to want to talk more strategic, big picture stuff.
But think about this.
If there's something.
Do you think about this though, Mike? Does a unit want to be put on the Washington Post or the New York Times? They don't. You know what I mean? When Jim Laporta walks around to a unit, immediately everybody puckers. That's just the way it is, because they know he's working on he lays it out too on some of his stories. That's like the weapons being lost. That was a big one for him, and that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Laporta's now CBS News.
Yeah, as I'm saying now.
So that's an even bigger.
That's what I'm saying. And all the
bullhorn.
That Republican congressman Troy Niels, who was faking the funk with the CIB.
Yep.
Who do you think he called? He called Stolen Valor. He called me. He called some other veterans up and asked what processes were and all that. So as soon as, and then of course, we did the same thing too. We blasted his shit on air too, but Jim Laporta was and Anthony Anderson at Stolen Valor, they were on it. So it's like, okay, all right, well, if we're not going to do anything with mill media, then it'll be like an equal balance of us reporting it.
I think so. Ken, big picture, I think that there isn't, even if Military Times was cut up and sold away in pieces, right? And the masthead ceased to exist for all of those outlets. I think there's an old saying, nature abhors a vacuum, right? Someone would fill that space. It'd just be a question of what kind of resource they would put behind it, and whether or not they would be, maybe not necessarily friendly or adversarial, but at least objective in their covering of the military. And I think, like, to your earlier point about like what does WTF Moments do? I think WTF Moments, to a large extent, kind of does take it back to the old days just a little bit, and throw some stuff out there and see who scoops it up.
That's what
I think
that's what we're thinking.
If you guys still have a relationship with public affairs in the way that the old admin crew used to, like hey, let's get PAOs and WTF back on the same sheet so that you guys can not only feed media, but you can feed engaged leaders at different echelons the information that they need to fix the problems that are making soldiers shoot photos on their phone and send them to the inbox.
Exactly. Well, man, I got to go on a break because we got guests looking at you right now.
Go get it. Go get it. All right, man.
All right,
always
brother.
good to talk to you.
Always too, man. Talk later.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
WTF Nation Radio.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a break right quick while I get the guests set up. And everyone, refill your glasses. And hi, Dad. What's up, David? I'm excited about the guests coming on, so I'm going to be a little bit over techie. So if it gets too nerdy, go smoke a cigarette or something like that, whatever. But this is gonna be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the guys set up, and then we'll be ready to go. So like I said, refill your glasses, take a break, and shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hello.
Okay, so what you're seeing right now, this is what the audience saw how we were engaging back and forth. This is what I see on the breaks, and then live, you're going to see it you guys, no, this is cool. Glad you guys are fun. This is not a gotcha. Yeah, I know I got a hot mic. God, leave me alone, guys. I'll turn it off right now.
Yo.
All you Trekkies and TV addicts, don't mean to this, don't mean to bring static. All you Klingons in your grandma's house, grab your backstreet friend, they get loud, blowing doors off inches, grab you with the pinches. And no, I didn't retire, I'll snatch you off with the needle nose pliers.
What the evil you never seen before? Gliding in the glazing like no green, like a racing with the bass so not goofy like they're in a haste so I'm a make your night with practice me running that you know. All right. What's up with that? I got friends and family that I respect. When I think I'm too good, they put me in check. Don't believe when they say I'm no better than you. Except when I rap, so I guess it ain't true like that, Joel, and you just don't stop. Guaranteed to make your body rock.
Check. check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out.
Say, Doc, what's the condition? I'm a man that's on a mission. Son, you better listen. Stuck in your what is an electrician? Like the scientist. When I'm applying this method of controlling my mind like Einstein or rap the Duke Now, hey, nigga, but now what the deal? I didn't know you go for that mass appeal. So call it Salucci, some appetizer. Check, I stole your mic, but you won't see it later. Cause I work magic like a magician. I add up the mathematician and the bank cashier, engineer. I wear cotton.
I'm going to cruise past ya. Don't money, don't jump yourself. Put that back on the shelf. Blaze in, yeah, I phase in. My crew's amazing. We're working on the record, y'all, so just stick shit. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out.
Now I go by the name of the King Admiral. I don't wear a cup nor a job. I bring the that's beyond bizarre, like Miss Piggy. And I am the one with the clientele. You say at rock, you rock so well. I got class like pink champagne. Let's see, ain't got.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I'm just going to go ahead and just introduce them all. David Starnes, Spencer Higgs, and Robert Duran. These guys won an award. Well, matter of fact, let's just let them hear their story. Let's hear their story. So who wants to go first?
All right. Yeah. So we're all veterans. I was Army, and these two guys were crayon eaters. And so we met at school. We're all using our GI Bill at a local community college, and our school has a group for Skills USA. It's a nationwide competition, and myself and Spencer were both draftsmen. He's also in the machining program. I'm early in the engineering program. Rob here is our manufacturing expert. He's in machining. And we kind of last minute decided to join this year's competition in the engineering technology design competition, even though none of us are really engineers, and ended up winning first place at state and then also nationals.
Awesome. Where are you guys located at right now together? I mean,
currently we're in Havelock, North Carolina, right outside of Cherry Point.
Oh, okay. So what exactly did you win? What did you do to win this prize? Any of y'all can answer, by the way.
So we were kind of crunched on time. We had about 9 weeks to get all of this done. We started considerably later than most teams, but we decided on a one-handed video game controller for people with disabilities. Our main inspiration was disabled vets. Say somebody lost a hand, got injured. They can't enjoy a lot of the same things that the rest of us do.
Right.
So we started off, made a proof of concept, tried to figure out if it was possible for us to produce it ourselves. After the proof of concept, we knew it was going to work out, so we then need to make it more ergonomic. So we took a Magpul pistol grip and and some modeling clay, modeled the shape that we wanted it to be in, and then took 3D scanned it, imported it into the drafting software, and from there we've been just tweaking it ever since. And if you want to go over its features.
So the main design we came up with is basically just a handle. And the cool thing about the handle is these buttons are in rotatable cylinders. You can take out a locking clip there. So left-handed, right-handed, short fingers, long fingers, doesn't matter. You can set each one of these buttons to your preferred position and then just lock it back in place. Unless you're dumb and clumsy like me.
Bang. And so once they're locked in place, then on the bottom, there's a cartridge that goes on the bottom. This holds the actual circuit board for the controller. And then on the top, you can install different button configurations. So what's unique about this is if this ended up going to market, somebody would only need to buy the handle once.
Right.
And then buy cartridges for whatever they needed it for. That and removable button configurations.
Oh, awesome.
And so because of how it's modular, this can also expand into robotics, heavy machinery, drones. It's about anything you can think of that needs to be controlled. It can be controlled one-handed. So say you didn't want a board cartridge, you can put it onto a like a control stick. You can have anything you can think of, accessories can be made for it.
Right.
So it's not there's no real limiting factors for it. So
how long, what caused you guys to use the pistol? I mean, what was the aha moment? I know some people like to, they have that, I have a shower thought, for instance, for me. So sometimes I'll think of something and I'm like, oh shit. And then I have to run outside butt naked to write something down or something like that. What was the aha moment for you guys to use the grip?
Well, see here. I build guns, he builds guns, he builds.
We like guns. It was just natural. It felt good to grab the grip and just start from there.
It was the best grip we could think of. That was like just perfect for all of our handles.
So when in doing so, have you guys? Hang on, I'm gonna pull some pictures up right quick. For some reason, it's we've been getting some drama with our streaming stuff. So hang on. And let's see. No, not. Oops, wrong one. I'm grabbing the wrong stuff here, guys. My bad. Hang on. This is making me look fucking bad. Does this have recoil? Somebody says, does it have recoil?
No.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Not yet.
Okay. All right, hang on. Let me show you. Let me get the this right here real quick. I can throw the display up. Everyone's like, oh, okay, what does this look like? There we go. Hang on, I gotta change my memes out. There we go. So that's it right there. So what have you? Is it tailorable? Is it a?
Yeah. So right there, you have a configuration for that one's a Super Nintendo. So that's that one.
Gotcha.
So if you want to use it on a different console or for a drone for different machinery, you swap out the cartridge that houses the circuit board, and you can attach different types of controls. Because generally different consoles throughout the years, they have different control schemes. So you have to be able to tailor it to whatever you need it for. So currently we have it working on 3 different consoles. We're working on GameCube next. GameCube controllers can work on 3 different consoles, so it's a lot of bang for our buck. But everything is what you see in that picture right there. That right there is the board cartridge dock. So that way the board cartridge can be removed and swapped with one hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then if you see here, I'll give you a little bit of close up because Dave was kind of far behind.
My bad.
So each of these are individually rotatable.
Oh, okay.
They lock in place.
Wherever is most comfortable for you, left-handed or right-handed, it all rotates. That locks in place and doesn't go anywhere.
That's awesome.
So you can set it exactly how you want it. So by doing the different control schemes, the different rotating button cylinders, we're hoping that this will also save a ton of money on manufacturing and cost quite a bit less for whoever ends up buying it to produce, because you only need to make the handle once per set.
Right.
And it makes it so you got a lot of these guys where their only other options are hundreds of dollars. They have to get custom controls made if they want to. And it's not, it's cost prohibitive.
Right.
Whereas something like this, you can tailor it to exactly your needs.
Now, on that, what are you guys looking at the target demographic to use this device?
So anybody that has loss of mobility in one of their hands, this allows them to be able to play their old favorite video games or be able to spend that quality time with friends, without basically having to go get something crazy custom made. Most controllers, well, all controllers now, they're all two-handed operation. So if you lose mobility in one, that's been taken away from you.
Right.
You don't really have a ton of options out there. And so we're hoping to give a little bit of joy back to especially disabled vets, trying to give a little bit of joy back to somebody who's given up so much.
Right. Has anybody, has the VA picked this up at all?
Not yet.
No, we really haven't started marketing it yet. We're just kind of winding down from the competition. I'm trying to finish up some other attachment designs. So we have something that's a little bit more well-rounded.
Right.
What we have here, we had to do in 9 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of sleepless nights trying to get this thing done in time.
Yeah. Basically, most other schools in this competition, they have their teams picked out after the previous year's competition is over. So they've got a whole year, excuse me, to work on like whatever their problem is, what they're going to design to solve that problem. And we had, basically 2 months kind of last minute, we jumped in and said, "Hey, we're going to do this competition."
Mm-hmm. And
About
go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry?
No, I cut you off.
Yeah, about 4 weeks in, we had to damn near scrap everything that we were working on because Dave came up with a great idea where we were trying to make a separate controller based off of the same pattern for different consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Dave came up with the idea. We're just kind of working on this thing. He's like, "Well, you know drill batteries, right? What if we take the circuit board and we attach it?" And I'm going, "Dude, that's a great idea." And he's like, "Yeah, but we don't have time to pursue it. We got like 5 weeks left." Like, no, Dave, we're doing that.
Yeah, I was very adamant that we had no time at all to make this kind of change, and he was like, "Yeah, we're doing it anyway."
I'm like, "Watch me."
Somehow we made it work.
No,
well, a lot of it was thanks to him too, because he's the one that actually made the physical parts.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so 3D printing allowed us to get prototypes out very quick. I mean, that's what this 3D print technology is. It's rapid prototyping, and that just makes it where, whether it be people like ourselves or companies, drive down costs in making their prototypes and just let you get to your final destination product faster.
Right. I was just noticing that the breakdown of it, and let me pull up another one here. The breakdown of it's simple as hell. I mean, it literally is freaking. I mean, so okay. Now we got the jokes in there. It's but can their controllers be used to take a sub of billionaires to see the Titanic?
Quite a lot better than an old Logitech controller.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Another one here is: have you guys ever thought about going on Shark Tank to see if you can get a boost?
It's come up in conversation as kind of a joke, but who knows? But our goal is to try and keep the controller as simple as possible.
Right.
The more complex you make some, the more expensive it is.
Of course.
That design right there that you have up on screen, that was our final one. We went through 4 different iterations in those 9 weeks. That one was all of the inner passages were opened up. That back access panel. The only reason why that part exists is because that's the only way that, say in the future, it could be injection molded.
Gotcha.
So something with something you got to watch out for going from a 3D printed part to an injection molded part is if there's weird cavities in there that have an odd shape, you can't injection mold it.
And that makes it much more expensive to try and 3D print all your parts. Like injection molding, you get a company with the right tooling to make a die, and you could just print out thousands.
Of how many of these? I mean, these are just how many prototypes do you have altogether?
Let's see. We have the proof of concept, the original orange controller. Then we have the first one with cartridges, which that was the stress test one. And then we have
these
3 finished of that handle. That set that I showed you, we have 2 finished sets of that. But we got a lot.
Yeah. No, I see that. Now, okay, so we're talking about the product, but I kind of glazed over. What was like I said, what was the reason why you guys came together for this competition? What was it for exactly? Was it something that you guys said, "Hey, let's try to win this comp"? What happened?
So last year, Dave and we competed in the drafting category. At state, I got first. He got second. I went on to take APAT at nationals. This year, we want to go into drafting again.
Gotcha.
Our school wasn't going to allow us because they wanted to see different people go and experience it. And so after a few weeks of back and forth, they said, all right, well, if you pick a category that nobody else is in, you can go. All right, cool. So I just flipped through the different categories and kind of reading some descriptions. I'm like, well, this one needs a team of 3. That looks fun. So I go to our advisor. He says, if you can get a team together, you can do it. All right. I call up Dave because I knew he wanted to compete again this year. Well, you want to go in this category with me? Sure. Then
it wasn't that easy.
Then I call up.
I really wasn't too excited about doing an engineering competition because
I was about to say the category was engineering technology, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, why were you leery about doing the engineering technology one?
Okay, so my wife is in NC State School of Engineering. My wife is a genius, like certifiable genius. And I've seen what it takes to become an engineer, and I don't have that.
Yeah.
But it turns out that people who build things for fun end up being pretty good at engineering design.
And you're saying this because is your wife holding you under duress right now to say this, or you really mean it? I'm just kidding.
No, we're at my house.
Oh, okay. She's probably watching the pod. Okay, asshole, I heard you say this.
She's probably watching.
What kind of genius are you talking about? So then you decide to get your team together, and then at this point you're like, okay, so what are we gonna do? What hits you to say, okay, what are we going to build next? Or we're in this contest. What the fuck are we going to build? You know, what was the design, or what was the reason why you came to this grip?
So, well, as far as video game aspect, you probably see my nerd cave.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But we definitely wanted to do something for disabled vets and for the veteran community. One of my big inspirations, I have a friend who does a lot for the C-130 community. And we definitely want to try and make something that could make just a small difference. Like, it's not going to be life-changing, but it's going to give a little bit of enjoyment back to somebody. That's our main goal.
With such a restricted time limit, we thought that would get us some extra points with the judges.
Well, I mean, you had so from the moment to start to finish, how many weeks? You said you had 9 weeks to do this?
9 weeks.
9 weeks to do this. And then were you able to do any testing? Were you able to sit down and go, okay, I got to get us hooked up to this and it didn't work? Or like, when you're working with a new peripheral, it's going the opposite direction you want it to go. What was your testing model for it? What was your testing platform for it?
The consoles themselves.
The consoles themselves. Oh, wow. Okay.
He's basically got the entire library of all video games released in the United States. So we just
not for
most
one console.
But we just spent a lot of time here building stuff, trying stuff out, and playing video games.
Seeing what's comfortable, seeing what works, and trying to get used to controlling everything with one hand.
Somebody just asked, can you drive a Tesla with it?
Probably.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I mean, if you can make a board cartridge or a attachment that interfaces with another machine, and you have a button configuration made for it, it can control damn near anything you can think of.
Now it operates off of a Bluetooth signal?
Currently, it's hardwired. We didn't have time to make a lot of custom hardware for it.
Basically we had like the last Radio Shack in existence.
Yeah, we have a Radio Shack out.
I'm about to say they still exist.
Yep, and they are completely out of pin connectors because of me. Certain types of solder, ribbon wire.
This is awesome. Have you guys? Somebody asked. Have you tested it? Somebody sent me a text. Have you tested it on any wheelchairs? Any wheelchairs?
We have not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So we decided to just stick with multiple different consoles for video games to demonstrate it.
Because video games are fun.
Yeah, video
of course.
games are fun. They're easy to bring to the competition. It's easy to just throw a few consoles in a case and go.
Yeah.
But we do have plans, and I'm working on designs currently to be able to adapt it to different things.
Awesome. Now, so you guys get this together. You guys start crafting it together. Was there any point during the development to once you said, okay, we're now going to do this, and then did you guys have any? I don't want to say disagreements, but yeah. You guys have any disagreements on what you're going to build? Were there any like, well, why don't we just build this, or why wouldn't you just build that? What was the deciding factor that it had to be the grip? Which, by the way, what's it called? Somebody asked, what's the grip called?
Tyr.
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 So in Norse mythology, Tyr is the god of battle and bravery, and he actually lost a hand doing a feat of bravery that none of the other gods were willing to do.
Awesome.
So
that's what I'm talking about. I like that. That's like the Mjolnir. You know what I mean? It's like it's like the opposite. Well, yeah. If you get your hand smashed by a Mjolnir, then you have to use the Tyr. There you go. That's the way it works. Now, once as it started developing, what were your benchmarks like throughout the weeks? At what point in time did you have to show? Okay, here's what we're doing first, or did they just give you development freedom to go? Hey, you're on your own. Let's see what you're going to develop.
They gave us a packet of standards to abide by, different rules, but for the most part, it's create whatever you want. You just need a engineering notebook, a working prototype, a design board to bring along, and that's it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so the competition itself and the school advisors, none of them really gave us a lot of instruction or like hard deadlines or anything like that. He was our slave driver. He would call us 5 times a day, every day for weeks. Hey, have you done this? Hey, have you done this? Hey, have you done this? We got to get this done by this time. We got to get this done by this time. But if it wasn't for that, I definitely wouldn't have stayed on top of it as well as I did.
We finished this thing. Let's see here. 20 minutes before we got on the school van to go to the state competition.
Yeah.
Shit.
So we were cutting it close.
Holy shit. Hang on, I got a picture of one of you guys working the machine here. There we go.
So right there, we knew we were going to change up the handle design slightly, but we still wanted to see if we were going in the right direction. We wanted to make sure that whatever we created was going to be durable. So right there, we're doing a stress test on it, putting pressure right in the middle of the handle, and seeing where its breaking point is. And what first fault was that? What for that one?
So where's the handle? Oh, okay. We turn the handle upside down inside of a compression testing machine.
Wrong side, bud.
I didn't need to crack that other beer. So basically, we took the machine and pressed straight down on the cartridge, and at about 105 pounds, the machine registered the first crack, the release of pressure. But it turns out that it didn't actually break the plastic; it was just separating
between the layers.
Gotcha.
Between two of the 3D printed layers. And then we turned it sideways and pressed straight down with a metal bar. And it took 400
and some odd. I have it written down somewhere.
It was around 430 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Before it actually cracked. And even that wasn't enough to compress anything bad enough that the internal components wouldn't work.
The button cylinder still rotated. Everything still worked fine with it.
Basically, the idea there was, gamers get pissed off and throw their controllers. We wanted to make sure it would still work.
That's pretty crazy, though. 400 something pounds. This plastic, it's PLA plus. It's made of cornstarch.
Yeah,
so.
It's completely biodegradable. Environmentally friendly.
Oh wow! Oh, so you even got the green aspect on there too. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
And this guy, every single time I had a design finished up, I would email him some STL files, say, hey, try and get these printed off. And I probably got on his nerves quite a bit because I was sending him files just about every day. How many rolls of filament did you end up going through?
Probably about 3 kilograms. Really not that much.
Yeah. But I mean, he was having the only time we'd see each other was at school. So they're like, hey, try and get these done by tomorrow. And then he'd come, hand off the parts to me. I'd go home, solder up a bunch of stuff, put it all together, test it out, make design changes, call him up that same night, like, hey, I need to print off some more stuff. And so it was pretty constant for him.
He said less than 3 kilograms. For reference, I've been printing like every day, all day for a week straight, and I've gone through less than 1 kilogram of filament.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool about the 3D printed stuff is the plastic's cheap, the 3D printers are cheap, all the information's open source on the internet. Anybody can take any idea they have, whatever they want, whatever it is, and they can make it happen. At the inception of this, we were wondering like how we were going to actually make a product. We were all, being machinists and whatnot. We're like, there's no way we machine all these different parts. And then we were like, well, we'll just 3D print it. That's easy, fast, and it worked.
Right. Now, I was about to say, are your plans? Do you have plans, obviously, to put this in production? Who have you pitched it to yet? I mean, who have you pitched it to so far?
Nobody yet. Other than the competition, your podcast is the first time it's been out.
Oh, wow. Honored.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
So we just finalized and submitted our final patent this week. And so now that it's patent pending, we can go ahead and start pitching it.
Wow, I appreciate the exclusive. Wow, I thought you guys had some media stuff about it already. That's awesome.
Well, we do have a tech blog. The SolidWorks designed the CAD program that we used, and they yesterday put out a blog on their the education blog. Kind of with a few pictures.
Yeah. So once you guys get through, you said 20 minutes to the final prototype, and you get and you get in the van to go. Did you have a little bit of a shit? Did we have everything? Did we pack everything? Did we have?
Well, so we were rolling deep. We brought a lot of stuff. We had the most fragrant display at the competition for sure.
So we had just about 2 of everything going into the competitions because 2 is 1 is none.
Exactly.
And so we probably brought a bin of extra crap we didn't even need.
Yeah, it's better to have it not need it and need it not have it. You know what I mean? That's one of those things to. One of the things that one of the pictures that you sent me was that you guys already got a Gucci ass fucking case for them. I mean, look at that.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
That right there is no, it's not Pelican. It's a Palino. Just a little case from Walmart. See, I was in a tool room for a while. So I got really used to cutting out foam for tools. So it's we got 2 of those, one for each of the one for each of the finals.
We were getting funny looks walking to the airport.
We were carrying these through freaking.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone was probably like, "What the hell is that? What is?" It's introducing the new Smith & Wesson tier, or something like that. Someone's gonna be like,
"It's top tier."
Yeah, top tier. Ooh, there you go. There's your slogan, man. Look at that. You heard it first on WTF Nation Radio. U.S. Army WTF top tier. But no, that's awesome. You also, I got a picture in here of you guys doing a presentation to somebody here. Let me go back. It was in a conference room table. You guys were sitting. Hang on, let me go back here. There we go. This one right here.
Oh yeah, that was the. It's a local hospital, Carolina East Rehabilitation Hospital, and basically when we were close to the end of our design period, we went there and we asked if we could speak with some OTs, and basically the entire team took their lunch break to let us show this off to them and get some feedback from people who work with other disabled people, And
so from that meeting, our takeaways were we made different docking stations for each different component. That way, the components can be interchanged with one hand. One thing we were not able to do before the competition was add a rubberized grip to the bottom of the board cartridge to help keep it in one place.
Gotcha.
Nor we wanted to do a strap that goes over the hand to help kind of keep it in there. So you're not having to basically grip it the entire time. You kind of relax. Certain things we weren't able to get in time. Certain things we were. But it was great feedback, and we are extremely appreciative to them to take time out of their day to help us.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Were they skeptical about it, or were they genuinely curious about it?
They actually, they seemed kind of peeved a little bit at first when they came in around their lunchtime, but
they might have been voluntold. We don't know.
they actually all really loved it. They were like, "This is amazing that you guys are doing this for people who can't enjoy this," and it's a really they all loved the idea and that it would help people that were disabled.
No, I can imagine. I mean, the applications, because the possibilities are endless, specifically with those with cerebral palsy or individuals that have MS or ALS. This would be a big help with just thumb guidance as opposed to whole entire hand movements.
Even our judge at the competition, he brought up a great thing is, imagine somebody who's a heavy machine operator gets hurt on the job. You can use this controller to now control the machinery with some minor adaptations, and that man can go back to work.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
doesn't have to get laid off.
Yeah.
I have different attachments in the works where all it is just a attachment with a hole on it that crimps onto a control rod, so they'll go on any existing control rod, and so you can adapt it to work with anything.
I mean, in theory, you could plug it into a Bobcat or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, exactly. Pop it in there, and then Tara says this has so many avenues it could take, so many possibilities. Exactly. That's incredible. Why are you guys giggling when I said Tara? Well, what was that? Do you know who Tara is?
I think Tara might be behind us.
Oh. Is she trolling you guys, or is she, I mean, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, this is awesome.
That picture right there, that's one of the top button configuration control docks.
Mm-hmm.
So just gives you an extra little helping hand.
Yeah.
To be able to,
you could take that and mount it on your,
TV
coffee
stand.
table, your TV stand, your computer desk, and basically, when you have
wrong side again.
Look, man, I just saw the thing and I was about ready to say wrong side.
And basically, you just flip it over, stick it down in that dock, and a little bit of pressure with your thumb, and it pops right out.
Oh wow, okay.
And then with your next console, you just set it down and slide forward to plug in.
Or a facilitator can help the individual too if it need be for adaptive purposes. Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys get there and you're unpacking your wares. Did you guys have any like demonstration videos of it at all? Anything that to show or?
We had better than videos. We had multiple controllers set up on, and we had 3 different consoles plugged into a switchboard basically, so people could come up and play the games.
Oh wow!
Okay. We encourage anybody that would walk by and ask questions about it. Go ahead, give us your feedback. What could we change on it? Because even though we're bringing it to the competition, we're still wanting to improve this design.
Of course, of course.
So I can't tell you how many kids I put a whooping on in Mario Kart. It was no mercy in this dojo.
Yeah. So I know there's a couple of levels that I wish I could finish on Mario Kart too, because my little ones will beat me on it. So when the judging happened, what was the criteria? Once okay, you're set up, you're ready to go. All right, it's judge time. What do they do? What was the exactly they looked at? Is that like, how like a sommelier or a wine person will come by and swing by and do their chalice and pour the wine or something like that? Is there some sort of engineering ritual that they do to
There was a lot.
There's like 24 different aspects that they judge us on, from quality of the prototype, professionalism of the engineering notebook,
ergonomics,
design,
we also had a 10-minute presentation where we kind of just took turns talking about each design aspect and what role we played to judge that.
Our engineering documentation, calculations, schematics, drawings, just about every aspect of it was down to our attire that we were wearing.
There was a
judge.
Yep.
Really? Well, hang on. I mean, let me show some attire here, because you look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yep,
there's that drip. Look at that. Some of the engineering swag.
That was at Atlanta at the national competition.
Okay. And so then they show up, they start working through it, and they're actually grabbing it, maneuvering it, manipulating it, thumbing it, and that's
actually not until after the judging was complete. The judges in Atlanta at the national competition, we actually thought that they hated our display and presentation because they were just completely stone-faced the whole time.
Yeah.
And then after it was over, all the other competitors were like, "How do you guys think you did with those two judges?"
I don't know.
But then after all the judging was complete, then they came back and they were like, "Okay, we got to play this game now."
Oh, okay. So at that point they were like, it was business face off at that point.
Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. I've got another comment here. You maintain complete control of your product, right? That's what somebody is asking in the chat.
Correct.
Okay.
It's patented.
It's patented already. Okay.
Yeah, we have design and utility patents filed now.
Oh, awesome, dude! That rocks. So then the judge. I'm talking about. This is now the for the competition now. The one in I think it was the one you were saying, the Skills USA in North Carolina. You guys get told, hey, you won. I mean, what was the I mean, for something like this, I'd have been excited as hell. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to act. I mean, were you guys shocked that, oh shit, they picked us?
It was definitely pretty shocking. It was pretty unreal.
Yeah, we didn't really know what to expect because we only had one team that was in real competition. So
there was a team that only had real competition.
Let's see.
So the first day when we're there at the Greensboro Arena, we get everything set up. These guys go off to get lunch or something, and I'm standing by the table to make sure nobody messes with our stuff.
Right.
And then another school comes and sets up right beside us, and they have a fully functional Mars rover.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
cool. It was pretty cool.
So yeah, their design was freaking awesome. But it turns out that they didn't actually design it. A local museum from their area came to the school and said, "Hey, we've got this Mars rover. Can you guys build a different one, give a different way so that it's more durable, so that people can actually interact with it?" So they recreated every single piece of it.
Oh, wow.
Using a metal 3D printer. And then they figured out all the wiring, the electronics, the circuit boards and everything. And that's who we beat to get first place at state.
Did they say, hey, you're disqualified? I mean, isn't that like a disqualifying thing? If it's because you have to create it. So
I thought they were going to get disqualified.
Yeah,
it was on the edge of the rules.
Yeah, because that's like getting a Chevy or a Ram pickup truck, taking the body panels off of it, and then putting some stuff on it, and they go, there you go, there's my innovative truck. You know,
let's see here.
That's basically what they did, but we weren't really sure how the judges were going to go with it.
Right.
the judges at North Carolina were actually really awesome. And
so right here, this was
Yeah.
just after we got up on stage. That's Dave's face. Dave couldn't believe that we.
Can you see it?
No, I can't see it. What am I seeing? What am I looking at?
You can see it now.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Oh yeah. Let me drop in. Let me drop in the other one here. How did you do that? I don't even know how to do this on my own rig. Hang on. Let me get this right here.
Yeah, I can build a computer. He knows how to use a computer.
All right.
So this was at Nationals.
Yeah, that's it.
There was only one group that we really felt were going to give us a run for our money, and that was Dave's face right after the group we thought that are going to give us trouble.
Yeah.
They got third.
Oh.
A different group got second, and Dave was kind of choking back those deers a little bit. So,
dude, no, that's a big deal, man. That like I said, that freaking that's an incredible feat, man. Like I said, to come off, and again, you're not doing this. It's not just like you're actually going to be using this to help people. That's my biggest thing that I see the application of.
And also, like, another big thing for us was like, we're all mechanics. We all build things. We work on things.
Right.
I'm technically enrolled in an engineering program, but my engineering experience has been chemistry, trigonometry, and Arduino.
Oh, dude, I stopped at trig, man. As soon as you said trig, I'm like, my eyes are glazing over. I'm not a math guy.
And then I was a Harrier mechanic.
Oh wow, okay.
He worked on Ospreys.
I was an Osprey.
And after 5 years of cussing out engineers, it feels really good to put a whooping on them.
None of us are actually engineers, and we beat every college engineering or community or tech college engineering team in the country.
That's awesome, man.
So it feels really good as mechanics.
Yes.
To stick it to the actual engineers.
You ain't lying, man, because sometimes it's the mechanics that sometimes will do better engineering than the engineers themselves when they. Because you guys are, I mean, especially you being a Osprey mechanic. Holy shit, dude! That
my wrist still hurt.
Exactly. Woo, doggy.
At least you're alive. I mean, I wouldn't get on an Osprey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no. The first time I flew on them, when they freaking rotate forward, it freaking gets up and goes. They're fun. I thought I never understood being able to hate an aircraft. I mean, I kind of hate that aircraft.
Well, I mean, somebody said it was the Harley Davidson of the sky because it sounds like a Harley and it falls apart when it's done. So I was like,
every time it breaks deck, it needs fixed.
Yeah, exactly. And it costs. That's what HD stands for, $100, because everything costs over $100. So I got one more picture I want to show to the audience. So what's up with the pirate hats?
All right. So, North Carolina, a lot of different states, they will give their competitors different hats to wear in the big stadium area, and that will basically signify what state you're from.
Yeah, Texas
North
has
Carolina,
these really gay cowboy hats.
Yeah, North Carolina, we got pirate hats because
Blackbeard
here,
right?
And so, a funny side note about those hats. Last year at Nationals, when our state representative addressed us, he said he thought it was pretty funny that in Atlanta, where we were at, by the end of the competition, there were a ton of homeless pirates walking around Atlanta because people would give them away.
Yeah. That's awesome. I just thought like, exactly. Tara's like, arg, mateys. Yeah, even with the hook hand, a pirate can use this controller. You damn right, Tara.
Yes.
Yarg. Yarg, yarg. Avast you, woman. Appreciate the compliment. That's so awesome. Well, guys, again, dude, this is awesome. I'm again, stuff like this, I'm always fascinated with because, it really shows the innovation of veterans. Also, it shows that you guys are doing it for a great cause. You're doing it for the veteran community. It's not like, I'm going to make a buck. I mean, don't get me wrong. Having some overhead is nice, but in the end, you guys are doing this for charitable purposes. So I really do appreciate you guys coming on. This is awesome. So David, Spencer, Robert, man. And again, appreciate the exclusive. I didn't know this was the first time.
We're extremely grateful to you and your viewers watching us, veteran nerds. Talking
exactly.
about our cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Nerds unite. What I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. We get the straight geekoids out of here to have them in the comments. Do you guys have any social media links or something like that for this? Is there like a Facebook page or something like that talks about tier, or do you guys need some assistance in kind of like exploding that stuff out? I mean, we could talk about that on the break.
We'd love to talk with wounded warriors.
Yes, there you go. I tell you what, we're gonna go on break because it's already finishing up the interview, anyways. But again, gentlemen, thank you guys so much for just. I am honored to be in your presence, just listening to this stuff because I can't geekoid like this. This is like Uber stuff right here. So I'm
completely honored to be here talking to you, man.
Oh, stop!
Appreciate
it, man. All right, so I'm gonna go on break, and I promise I'll have my mic muted, and I will again. So farewell to David, Spencer, and Robert for hanging out with us and showing off the tier. And bro, this is wicked. This is epic. I have ideas now, so I'm gonna go ahead. And take a break, and y'all behave, refill your glasses and shots.
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter.
Crawl
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I want some ganja mine. Oh, no, I can't say that. This is Sergeant's time. I can't see that. DD214 required. This is Sergeant's time. This is the professional LPD day that we broadcast on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Shout out to the bros for hanging out with us. This was awesome. David Starnes, Spencer Higgs, and Robert Duran. Hey, I am sorry we took a long break. We were geeking the freak out, and I was giving them some drone porn, showing them some stuff about drones and shit like that, and going through a little stuff. I almost forgot that we still had a broadcast. So, at any rate, so to continue what we were talking about at the beginning, I'm sorry, I digress. There's a story that's coming out of Fort Liberty right now, and we got a lot of crazy ass images and pictures out at Fort Liberty in housing. Apparently, there's a peeping Tom at Fort Liberty. And this individual has been known throughout the housing community, like a spate of break-ins, peeping Toms into little girls' and boys' windows at night. They had the suspect in custody. Now, mind you, this is the first time this is without Mill Media again. This is what happens. I'm telling you what the story is. They had a suspect in custody who admitted to the enjoyment of looking through the Go Corp. The enjoyment of looking in the windows at night in the neighborhoods, and CID and the MPs let them go. And they said there was nothing we could do about it, quote unquote. Now, of course, this was reached out to me by several family members and members of the military who are afraid of retribution, that we talk about this because no one seems to be taking it seriously. And I asked for some of the sources, asked for some of the witnesses to send me pictures of the individual. So once we get that in, I will end up following up in a subsequent Sergeant's Time or Monday edition. Hell yeah, thanks for having us. Oh yeah, you need your Twitter. Which one? Which you need a Twitter? We got at WTF Nation Radio is our Twitter. My Twitter, or are you talking about just the station? At WTF Nation Radio. That's the station Twitter. And mine is at the IO guy. So here's what the cops are saying on Fort Liberty. They're saying that they're advising that they not pursue him or harm him if we catch him ourselves. Huh? Look, man, if you guys don't know, if you guys don't know, Fort Liberty is the center of the universe. Sorry, I don't want to say that. I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting some divisive rhetoric here, but Fort Liberty is the center of the universe, home of the 18th Airborne Corps, Airborne and Special Operations Forces. So there's a lot of family members that have their spouses deployed. And I say spouses because it could be man or woman. And that might not be exactly that, Casper. It might not be the place to get caught peeping. The individual, the peeping Tom, has mostly gone after, or mostly is aware, like this individual's got some sort of fucking training schedule or some shit to know when individuals are gone, and targeting women and children of deployed husbands. So when husbands are deployed, and there it is. I'm waiting for more details to come out, but this is one of the many stories. Like I said, if Mill Media was involved, I know somebody said that in the comment. Just like the guys that came on with the tier, I like that tier. Prepare to be destroyed by the tier. The gentleman that came on and spoke about the tier, that's a Mill Media story. A peeping Tom story at Fort Liberty involving family members and law enforcement not saying anything. That's another Mill Media story. I'm going to beat a dead horse on this. There's no Mill Media to talk about this. And like Mike Levine said, and you guys don't know, that was Mike Levine, former OCPA SGM. He and I served together back in the day. He actually was the PAO and some of you guys in the audience that know might know the situation. Back in the day, he was the IOTIF PAO SGM and worked with the PSYOP guys. I think it was like 1661 task force. I can't remember what it was. It was the IOTIF that was led by a 6th PSYOP battalion at the time. And so that task force that deployed to Afghanistan, me and Mike trained up together for during a lot of the stuff. And then he deployed to Afghanistan and I went to SOCOM. So but that's how I knew him. So that, like he said, maybe it's time to go back to WTF Nation's roots, and until we post something, until Mill Media picks something up. Again, it just sucks, man. It just sucks for a story like this. Peeping Tom on Fort Liberty, and I guarantee it. All these family members that were being told, "Hey, there's nothing you could do about it. If there's a serious incident that happens with this individual." Then what? Is it going to take a serious incident for authorities to take it seriously, or leadership to take it seriously? Maybe up the police, maybe up the patrols. I always kind of thought that the installation was a little bit more on the you should be secure. Like if you fucked around and found out on a military installation, you're supposed to get hammered, right? There's a sign that's in the door in front of most of the gates. It's subject to search and seizure. Use of deadly force authorized. Conviction under U.S. code, yada, yada, yada. You don't see that a lot. So I'm just kind of curious. So, anywho, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. We got going on for the show today, or for the next couple of shows. Let's see. Let me open up the calendar here, do some housekeeping. Normally I have Spanky, hitting the back of my head saying, "Hey, we're gonna do housekeeping." Mott Lake closed to body dumping in 2024. Try Texas Lake. Ooh. During the height of the Guat, I remember there was a place on Fort Liberty called the Plank Row. It was a joke that people used to make due to the fact that there was a lot of domestic violence and stuff like that happening on Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty, Fort Bragg Liberty Bragada. Called it the Plank Road Spouses Club because the amount of spouses that were found along that training area on Plank Road. So it's kind of grim. Damn, yeah. See, so Friday is either Friday FTX, I think. No, CQ should be back. His vacation's over, so he should be back for his shows. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and throw up the graphic up here right quick to keep me on track, so that way I'm not bambling, and all this other stuff. So put the camera up here. There we go. Pew pew. Okay, so this is Sergeant's Time. Every Thursday, we try to come on at 2000 EST, unless there's some late breaking, or there's some issues, or there's some PAO that I'm talking to, or PAOs that I'm not talking to, or PAOs that don't want to talk to me. Or last minute, obviously, sometimes if we're late, it's usually because of a real quick update usually from the system, or an update from the from a story that we want to make sure that we're providing you guys accurate information on. But next week, well, let me just go ahead. Friday Night Freedom, I got to change the graphic. So it'll either be the FTX, and that's going to be a kind of a placeholder for right now. I think it's like every other Friday or every Friday. I got to get with CQ. When is he doing it again? But I should say intermittently Fridays or something like that. And then Saturday, of course, is a co-ops. Nemo and the WTF Nation gaming crew will be on there to shoot the shit and game up. I've been playing Helldivers lately, so that's a fun game. And then Sunday is the sports bar, the WTF Nation sports bar, with the actual King Smith. And of course, what do you hear? What do you say? The coach, providing the WTF Nation optic of sports and sports news. Monday Dishes, myself with me and Massey. I have a guest on that day, on the 5th of August. I was a guest on his podcast, and now he's going to be a guest on our podcast. just going to shoot the shit and just talk. He is the host of There Will Be Bourbon. Eric Bandazewski is going to be coming on. He and I kind of like cross paths during our first Armor Division time too. So he's going to be coming on, shooting the shit, and hanging out with me, talking about the latest and greatest of societal issues and societal drama. Oh man, I can't wait for that show because we're going to be talking some mad shit, and I can't wait. And then, so always looking forward for him to come on. He also has if you go to There Will Be Bourbon on YouTube, that's where his podcasts are. You can go to his LinkedIn or Facebook, YouTube. He's got Pandora. He's got a lot of, like I said, he's got a lot of links out there. So I can't wait for Eric, my bro, Bandazewski, to come on and shoot the shit and see what we could talk about. I know there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. We're both going to be rambling over each other anyways. It's going to be fun. Tuesday, of course, Pop Culture Warrior will be back. CQ will be back from goofing off. And then he's got no guest next week. So then Wednesday is the Smoke Pit with a Sarns. Apologies for no show last night. There was some stuff that Radar had to attend to, so he had to handle business. And then, of course, right back with Sarns time with me and my gunna Spanky. Make sure you share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on 5 platforms. We are broadcasting on 2 YouTube pages, 2 Facebook pages, and 1 Twitter account. So if you kind of go to U.S. Army WTF Moments, that's us. If you go to WTF Nation Radio, that's us on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. At WTF Nation Radio is what we're broadcasting on live currently. Appreciate all the comments in the chats, by the way. You guys are rocking it, and appreciate the feedback you gave the guys on the tier system. Let me see. I think that's it. I think we got everything else. Are we good? We good in the chats here? We're good on. We're ready on the left, ready on the right. We're ready in the middle. So again, there's some other stories that I'm going to be building up. Like I said, there's that I got to go through and go through the details of it. There's some ethics stuff in RSOF. There's some other stories with the CSM, Fort Novacell. There's another story about a CSM that got a DUI. Going to follow up on that. So again, until Mill Media, until that chasm starts to close back up again, I guess we'll be just filled that void. So, anywho, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good night, and see you. Shouts.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's WTF Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
In the barracks where the madness breeds, a soldier's tale of wild misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. There ain't no time for sleep, and we're treated like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeants rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army WTF, you can't deny. Army WTF, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army WTF, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wildlings roam. Every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange. Army WTF, it never will change. So raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world, where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say, Army WTF, every single day.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.